Welcome back to First Moveable Guitar Chords. This book focuses on 8 movable chord shapes. In the last lesson, we briefly went over the 8 shapes you're going to learn in this book. To use those shapes, you need to know the names of the notes on strings 5 and 6, and that's what we're going to cover in this lesson. You can watch all these videos for free, but it's going to be a lot easier to learn if you have your own copy of First Moveable Guitar Chords that you can read from and write in. Plus, you can help support a music teacher, so I'll leave a link in the description. The root is the note the chord is built on, and the key to using these movable chord shapes is to form your shape and then move it to wherever the root happens to be on the 5th or 6th strings. And for that, you need to know the names of the notes on strings 5 and 6. For example, if you wanted to play a B major chord on the 6th string, you would form the 6th string major shape that I showed you briefly on page 4 and move it to where the B is located on the 6th string at the 7th fret. So that would be a B major. Or to play an E flat 7 on the 5th string, you would form that 5th string dominant 7 shape I showed you on page 4, very briefly, and move it so that you're playing the E flat on the 5th string as the root note of that shape. At the bottom of page 5, we have 2 diagrams showing the notes on strings 5 and 6. The first diagram shows the natural notes and then the flat notes. The second diagram, the natural notes and the sharp notes. What I'd like you to do is memorize these notes so you know where to place your shapes. And on the next page, page 6, I've got some tips for memorizing those notes. Tip number 1 is to understand the musical alphabet. We have our A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Then it starts over again on another higher set of A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. So the 5th string actually outlines the musical alphabet because it's an A string, starts on the A, so you can practice A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then A again. And the 6th string starts in the middle of the musical alphabet. It's an E string, so there's your E, then your F, G. The alphabet starts over at A, on the 5th fret, A, B, C, D, and then E again at the 12th fret. The natural notes are all the notes without a sharp or a flat, and those would correspond to, say, the white keys on the piano. And notice in these diagrams, all the natural notes are 2 frets apart, except your B and your C and your E and your F. Your B, C, and E, F are always going to be 1 fret away from each other. So if you're running through your natural notes on the A string, there's your A, 2 frets away is your B, B and C are always next to each other, so C will be at the 3rd fret, 2 frets away is your D, 2 frets away is your E, E and F always next to each other, so if your E is 7th fret, your F will be 8th fret, 2 frets away from that is your G, the alphabet starts over again at A. And same thing with the 6th string. It's an open E to start. So there's your E. 1 fret away will have to be the 1st fret. That's your F. 2 frets away is your G. Your musical alphabet starts over after that, and it's going to be 2 frets away. So there's your A at the 5th fret. 2 frets away is your B. B and C always next to each other. So if your B is at the 7th fret, your C has to be at the 8th fret. 2 frets away again is your D. And then 2 frets away is your E. At the bottom of page 6, I show you 2 memory exercises. The first, you're just going to say the natural notes sequentially. So you go to your 5th string and just say and play A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. And why not go backwards? A, G, F, E, D, C, B, and A. And do the same thing on the 6th string. So there's your E, F, G. Make sure you say and play A, B, C, D, E, and back to D, C, B, A, G, F, and E. The other exercise is to pick a note and then find that note on both strings. So let's say you chose the note A. Here's an A on the 5th string, or a fingered A on the 5th string of the 12th fret, and then your A on the 6th string at the 5th fret. Then find your B's. There's your B on the 5th string at the 2nd fret, and your B on the 6th string at the 7th fret. We'll just do one more, a C, 3rd fret on the 5th string, and 8th fret on the 6th string. And don't forget to say and play these notes. That's going to help you get them in your brain and under your fingers. Now, once you can find the natural notes, all you have to do is fill in the gaps with your sharps and your flats. That flat diagram is first on the page, so let's take a look at that. What a flat does is it lowers a note by 1 fret. So here's my A on the 6th string, 5th fret. A flat is just 1 fret to the left. So if I were to go to my E at the 6th, on the 6th string, 12th fret, there's my E flat, D, D flat, C. Now technically B is C flat. We're not really going to get into that in this book. We'll just call that B. Don't worry about the C flat part. B, B flat, A flat, G, G flat, F, and technically there is an F flat. It's just an E, so we're not going to worry about that in this book. If you want to learn more about that sort of thing, check out my Guitar Theory Modules book. Now, if a flat lowers a note by 1 fret or a half step, a sharp raises a note by 1 fret or a half step. So here's my open A. Let's do the 5th string this time. A sharp is just 1 fret higher, so A is open, so A sharp would be 1st fret. There's my B. Technically, B sharp and C are the same note. We're not going to worry about that in this book, so let's just go to C. C sharp is 1 fret to the right. Then my D. D sharp. E. Again, E and E sharp and F, same note. We're not going to really deal with that in this book, so there's my F. F sharp. G. G sharp. And A. Your assignment is to memorize the notes on strings 5 and 6, and don't forget to order your own copy of First Moveable Guitar Chords that you can read from and write in. I'll leave a link in the description. Stay on this lesson until you can find those notes on strings 5 and 6, both the sharps and flats, and continue quizzing yourself on those notes throughout this book. When you're ready, I'll see you on page 7. We're going to look at movable major chords.